Hey everyone, welcome to How I Trade. Today's guest is Justin Ferrer. How you going, mate?
I'm going pretty good. How you doing, Damien?
Yeah, good, man. It's good. It's so good to see you and hear from you again. Hey, today we're going to look at the 13 EMA strategy. So it's a breakout strategy that Justin, as a part of our group, has mastered, and he's going to show us how to do it and what it all means. So take it away, my friend.
Thanks, Damien. Thanks for having me on the show. This is one of my favorite strategies. This is actually the strategy that I first ever learned how to trade back when I was losing money because I didn't know anything else but this strategy. So just keep it short and simple. The 13 EMA breakout strategy is this is for a daily time frame breakout. This strategy can be used on smaller time frames, but um, oh, uh, the the moves aren't going to be as prolonged. This is more of a swing trading strategy. I find that the success rate on this is higher on the higher time frames. Um,
Just
so
before
I'll,
we just before we get started, can you just show us your settings on the EMA that you have, just
most
so
definitely.
we can get access to that?
So I use the moving average ribbon. You can find it in the indicators. But whenever you set it up, you know, just go ahead and go in the indicators. It's the moving average ribbon.
Yep, sweet.
Um, um, get rid of that one. Double click it, bring up the settings. Excuse me, wrong one.
That's cool.
Okay, so the settings for the three lines that I have are the 13 EMA. That's the blue dotted one in the middle. The bottom one is the 9 EMA, and the top one is the 20 EMA. And make sure that they are EMAs and not SMAs or anything else.
Okay, cool.
And so what we're looking for when we're looking for this kind of breakout is we want some type of wedge pattern, and it doesn't necessarily need to be a falling wedge, but it does need to be a wedge. It does need to be a triangle, um, and the touches need for the setups that I like. The touches need to be in a Elliott wave form, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means after every touch, the price makes it back up to the top of the wedge and then back down to the bottom of the wedge whenever it swings again. So you see here that price comes down, swings back up, swings back down, swings back up, and you can line all these up and make a wedge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you have those five touches that are very distinct like that, that are creating the Elliott wave pattern, those are the kind of wedges you want to see. You don't really want to be looking at um, patterns that go like this, that create like this top and then come down here, and you have all these touches to the top, but they don't have any touches down to the bottom. You want your touches to be very distinct.
Yep. So you want it to be a true wedge.
Correct. So that's what I look for is the wedge patterns, very distinctive swings within the pattern. And so the 13 EMA comes into play when you after you have your five touches. So after you have your five touches, if you're an experienced trader, you can look for entries on smaller time frames off of support, like a double bottom. Um, After you've seen the five touches, that's the one thing that that you don't necessarily have to focus on right away is finding these like pinpoint bottom entries. Like maybe right here would have been a good entry for someone who was really experienced. But when I see these, I'm waiting for price to excuse me. I'm waiting for price to break above the break outside of the wedge to the upside when that 13 EMA is crossing over that wedge as well. So you can see right here when price broke above the wedge, it also broke above this 13 EMA right here. It created it broke this high. So when I noticed that this was breaking this high, I know that I can go on smaller time frames and I can look for break and retest entries. So this is how I would have got my entry on. Well, this is how we did get our entry on this one. On the 1 hour time frame, whenever we seen this breaking out, it created this flag. Excuse me, that was the wrong spot. It was right here. So when I noticed it was breaking out, I went on a smaller time frame and I found this. So it was a simple break and retest strategy. So there's your. Excuse me, let me go ahead and get ready real quick.
So basically, it basically combines a few things. The further confirmations would be looking for that support line, and if it's breaking at the same point it's breaking the trend with the 13 EMA crossing as well, and there's all the indicators that you need. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Sweet.
So yeah, my first confirmation was noticing that 13 EMA was very close to that resistance line.
Yeah.
And then the going in the double bottom break and retest, changing market structure, all that stuff is what I used to actually get my final entry.
Yeah. That's easy.
Yeah, it's really easy. You just got to be patient. It's really all it is. And even if I don't know, I don't want to keep you too long, bro, because I know you're a busy man.
Nah, that's sweet. Yeah, show us.
You're gonna look at Bitcoin too. So this, I can't necessarily say there was the rally is not always gonna come out of a 13 EMA breakout. That is not what happens. But those patterns are probably some of the bullish patterns in the market, and Bitcoin actually has replicated that same pattern. And actually, more recently, had a failed rally. So just because it has the rally and does break out, doesn't mean it's going to rally where the target says it's going to, like we did on Cardano.
Yeah, and as we always say, these lines form a pattern, and the pattern tells a story. And if you can pick up the meaning of that part of the story, which is the wedge and the breakout, then you're able to be a successful trader.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we're all here for.
Yeah. And that's exactly what you're doing. Like right there, I encourage anyone watching this, make sure you're doing back testing. Try and find these patterns, identify them before you start throwing money at them, and make sure that you actually understand how they work and where your entry points should be.
And so they're not all going to look the same either. They're not going to all look pretty. But when you can identify those 5 distinct touches,
yeah,
then that 13 EMA breakout is pretty solid.
Yeah, it's cool. Well, I can verify that it worked because that ADA one made me some money as well when you shared that a few weeks back. That was good. Thank you so much.
So very welcome. I'm glad I actually was not able to get into that trade due to the liquidity on the exchange I was using. So I'm glad I was able to help everyone.
Yeah, yeah, you were. It's always the way. You help someone else and you don't take it yourself.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's what I'm here for. I don't need to take every trade that's in the market. If I find something good, I like it, I'll share it. If I don't get in, oh well.
Yeah. Now that's awesome, man. That's such a simple strategy, but it's such a good one. And it's so good to see you again. But it's also awesome to pick up on those trades. So thank you so much for sharing, Justin, and we all appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's really, really good to see you, and definitely hope to be on a lot more calls here soon, man.
Yeah, cheers. We'll definitely pick your brain with something else soon.
Anytime, bro.
Thanks, man.